In this video, we will demonstrate how to install the Rentley Access Panel with Intercom and make sure it is connected. The Rentley Access Panel with Intercom is a multifunction access control solution for entry points and shared spaces. It can be used to easily track, change, manage key fob, and door code credentials. The Access Panel with Intercom can be used to control any access device that is operated by a normally open or normally closed signal, as long as the voltage requirements are met. This system only supports MyFair fobs and does not integrate with HID fobs. The Rentley Access Panel with Intercom stores all valid credentials within the device. It supports cellular, Ethernet, and Wi-Fi. This allows you to place secure access points all over a building without having to wire a central control system. For install, you will need these items: the Rentley Access Panel with Intercom, a power supply controller, door sensor electromagnetic lock and brackets, or electric strike lock, plug adapters, mounting plate, coax Wi-Fi antenna, wall anchors, screws, exit button, optional rain cover, and cable storage box. You will also need the following tools: hammer, screwdriver set, drill and drill bit set, low voltage wiring, and wire cutters. Some things to note before we get started: you'll need to identify your panel locations and door or gate type to verify that you have the correct mounting bracket and hardware for the install. Refer to your local building codes and property requirements for appropriate fail-safe or fail-secure wiring. Locate the power source for the power supply controller. You may need to have a certified electrician run power to the install location. The exit button and the Rentley Access Panel with Intercom should be installed in accordance with your local ADA requirements. Recommended height does not guarantee ADA compliance. Okay, the Access Panel with Intercom installs in 5 easy steps. Step 1. Prepare the mounting locations. Step 2. Run the wiring. Step 3. Connect wires. Step 4. Install hardware. Step 5. Test the system and lock the panel on the mounting bracket. Step 1. Prepare the mounting locations. Here's a typical installation layout. You will need to determine a mounting location for your power supply, access panel, exit button, and electric lock. The power supply should be mounted in a covered location that will not get wet. Normally, this is done somewhere near an indoor power outlet. For this fitness center, we will install it here. For the power supply, begin by removing the 2 screws holding the power supply controller cover in place. Secure the power supply controller to the wall or desired location with 2 or 4 screws. If mounted vertical, 2 screws may be enough. If mounted horizontal, using all 4 screws is recommended. For the access panel, it should be mounted in a location and height that will be easy for guests to read and enter the access code. This is typically to the right of the locked door or gate you want to control access to. You may need to drill a hole large enough to access and insert the wiring components. For the exit button, it should also be mounted in a location that can be easily accessed by guests leaving the area, but should be positioned in a secure location so that it is not easily pressed when on the unsecured side of the area. Cut an appropriate hole in the wall to fit the back of the button and the contacts into the opening. Mounting may vary depending on the exit button that is included with your system. You can also use a pre-installed junction box or install one if using the appropriate exit button. For the electric lock, you'll need to determine your lock type and prepare the mounting location as needed. For an electric strike, you may need to cut away the frame and drill holes to prepare the mounting location. For the electromagnetic lock, you'll need to line up the hardware and the brackets so that the steel plate and the electromagnet will align tightly when the door is closed. Drill the appropriate holes for your application. Step 2. Run the wiring. Run power and control cables from your power supply location to your access panel location. Be sure to use the appropriate cable size for your application with consideration for the distance the cable is being run. Run another wire from the exit button opening to the power supply. If applicable, run another wire from the electric lock to the power supply. You'll need to run the Ethernet cable to your access panel location if Ethernet is your preferred connection choice to the internet. Finally, run a power wire from the power supply to an outlet. For our install, this will be done using a wire with a plug on the end. Let's connect the wires. Connect the power, access panel, exit button, and lock wires according to the wiring diagram for your configuration. Run the power and control wires into the power supply controller box with the appropriate grommets or connection hardware. Determine your fail-safe or fail-secure system requirements. The electric strike may need to be disassembled and modified for your fail-safe or fail-secure configuration. The electric strike provided is normally set to a fail-safe configuration. For additional instructions on how to modify it to fail-secure, see the instruction manual. Let's now connect the access panel. First, pull cables through the drilled-out hole and connect the green adapters to the cables. Mount the backplate and secure it with provided screws. Make sure to choose the right mounting options that will provide clearance to the door when opened. If using a cable box or rain cover, mount these items first, then backplate. Make sure to pull the cables through the opening, and you have space and slack to plug in the panel. Connect the power, control, and antenna wires to the back of the access panel. Be sure the antenna wire is securely screwed together. For drywall, the antenna can be hidden in the wall. For a metal gate, the end of the antenna must be unobstructed from the metal. The antenna wire may be run through the metal gate, but be sure the antenna end is exposed for the best signal. If there is wire mesh or other metal obstructions, be sure the end of the antenna is mounted in an unobstructed location. If needed, the antenna may be painted with non-metallic paint. Now let's connect the exit button. Prepare and connect the wires to the terminals on the back of the exit button per the wiring diagram. It's time to connect the electric lock. Prepare and connect the wires to the terminals from the electric lock per the wiring diagram. Step 4. Install the hardware. It's time to return the power supply faceplate to the front of the power supply and tuck all wires away so they are covered and not pinched. Secure with the 2 screws that were removed. Next up, the exit button. Tuck the wires into the wall so that they sit behind the switch. Secure the switch to the desired location using the provided screws. Moving on the electric lock, tuck the wires into the frame or door and secure the lock and other mounting hardware in place. You're almost there. Step 5. Let's test the system first. Now that everything is mounted and connected, you may test your system. Press the exit button if applicable. There should be an audible click, and your lock should release and allow the door to open. Test your fail-safe or fail-secure configuration by temporarily cutting off power. Check whether the access panel is connected to the internet. The network connection indicator should display as green if connected. Test the lock-unlock for your installed lock. The electric strike and electromagnetic lock should hold a door secure when locked. Once each of these steps are complete, your system is fully functional. You're now ready to lock the panel on the mounting bracket. Remove the yellow sticker on the back of the access panel. To activate the panel, you'll need to input 888000 and then push the lock icon on the keypad to lock the panel on the mounting bracket. This is a one-time use only code. Make sure the panel is operational before this final step. After this code is entered, a manager will need to be present to unlock the panel again. Do you still have questions? Please contact a Rentley support representative today.